South Toyota across from Home Depot and Midwest Machinery Company, your John Deere dealer with 13 central Minnesota locations. And we're ready to go green with Luther Honda, Matthew Dibb, Dalton Landwehr. We're green. First out of two he races tonight, takes the green. It's Dave Moss working the hub out of the final corner at the end. One. He'll beat Matthew Dibb to the line by half a car length. 7A Sobraski is next. 91 Andy Davey out of Hibbing, Minnesota in that next position. 2 of X of Dalton Landwehr, 27Z Jared Zimpel as Dave Moss continues to lead this one. 7A Sobraski moves forward a spot as he wheels the 7A down the back straightaway. 3 car lengths behind Matthew Dibb, 22 in a battle for Rookie of the Year in WISSOTA. Dave Moss into your current race leader. Throws 3 laps down on the Wallet Construction scoreboard. 7A Sobraski, the 2-time defending WISSOTA national champion in the top 2. The flags are ready to cross right now. You see them, race fans, yellow and green. We've got 4 laps down. 4 complete. It's Dave Moss in 2, sets the pace tonight. Heat number 2 heads to staging. They'll be out on the racetrack next. Moss out front of Sobraski, about 10 car lengths the deficit. Same can be said, or a little more, back to Matthew Dibb in 22. Flying green out, 2 times left to go. The final 2 laps in heat number 1, Dave Moss. In car number 2, your leader brings it to the white. He's got one more trip to go around Granite City Speedway. Granite City Speedway, where Sunday nights rock. And speaking of rock, it's the 2 car of Dave Moss coming in for the checkered flag. He'll take him, Dave Moss. Finishing 4th out of Hibbing, it's Andy Davey in 91-22. Matthew Dibb hiking in this evening in 13. And we go green with Luther Honda. Super Stocks underway. Tim Johnson breaking out to the early lead. Hiking in 13, but on the move, it's Dennis Zeck in 19. Zeck moving his way into the top 2. Hiking in 13, 78K Dexton Cook. And then Jake gets in 26. That's your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A good battle shaping up for 3, 4, and 5 as they work their way past the stand. Tim Johnson. Johnson in the 1 junior car, the pole sitter. He's going to try to take it to the checkers tonight. He's got a long ways to go as we're set to throw down lap number 3. Jake gets 26, finding his line at the top shelf of this racetrack this evening. He moves into the top 2. Dennis Zeck, 19, tries to go up to the top right where he saw Getz go. As he works his way into the 3rd spot, Dexton Cook, 78K, side by side. They almost headed past the flag stand. A dead heat down the back straightaways for position 3. Now that advantage goes to Dexton Cook. The 78K car takes over that 3rd spot, and Tim Johnson, 1 junior, has been your race-long leader. Jake gets 26 solidly in that 2nd spot. Runner-up wise, 78K Dexton Cook in 3rd. Flying green out. Tim Johnson sees the 2 to go mark. Tim Johnson out front, the 2 to go. Headed for the white flag this time on the stand. You see Brian Riedemann show him the white with 1 to go. The final trip around Granite City, Tim Johnson, 1 junior's got this one all but wrapped up. As he heads for the checkered flag, Tim Johnson, 1 junior, takes the victory. 26, Jake gets in a solid 2nd. 78K Dexton Cook in 3rd. Fourth goes to Dennis the Menace. Eveleth in car number 13. He is in the Heikkinen Racing number 13. Jared Zimpel out of aisle. He's in the aisle automotive 27, and we go Racing Green. And the green out with Luther Honda. The end of one, a great battle. Your front row intact. Looks like white's the color to have tonight. White, green, black, and then here comes a white and blue number 2. 3 wide in turn 2. And out of 3, here they come. Tim Johnson, Matthew Dibb putting on a clinic. Johnson moving into the front stop. Matthew Dibb now gets the advantage down the back chute. Dave Moss and Shane Sobraski in tow. Matthew Dibb breaks back out into the lead. Tim Johnson, 1 junior, and 2 Dave Moss. Fourth is Shane Sobraski. The top 4 cars starting to move away from the rest of the field already in this 20-lapper. Johnson back out front. The lead's changed 3 times in 4 laps. Unbelievable. 3 wide down the back chute for positions 4, 5, 6, and 7. Wow. Takes it over again. It has switched the lead every lap in this race event. 2 Dave Moss just doing what he does best, and 7A Sobraski. Sobraski now trying the high rails, approaching 7A. He had been feeding on the bottom. Where your leader sits right now, Matthew Dibb. 1 junior, Tim Johnson, now works the middle groove instead of the high line as they bring it on by the stand. It's still Matt Dibb. Matthew Dibb, Tim Johnson, and Dave Moss, who works his way into the top 2. He gets the advantage with the whole shot out of the base of turn 2. Matthew Dibb, 22, with Dave Moss towing right, glued to the back bumper. Tim Johnson works the higher line. In 1 junior, 7A Sobraski, your 2-time defending WISSOTA national champion in 4th. 91, Andy Davey in 5th. 19X, that's Dennis Zeck, the Menace, in the top 6. Matthew Dibb continues to lead. Johnson now gets another spot down as Sobraski powers his way in the basement in 7A. A little down the nose of the car right next to Dave Moss. We're halfway. Matthew Dibb, 22 at the halfway point. Dave Moss glued to the back bumper. Here goes Dave a little higher this time. He's going to work out of the high side of turn number 4. Matthew Dibb, half a car length at the very most. Moss now trying to get the extra momentum down the back chute. He'll get almost side by side, but not quite. Matthew Dibb, he's working the hub like a bottom feeder like nobody else. Moss bounces off the wall. You saw the car jump out of the second corner. He straightens it back up, working definitely up in the attic is Dave Moss in 2. Gonna cost him a spot as Sobraski moves another notch forward. He's gonna glue himself to the back of Matthew Dibb's 22. It's Dibb and Sobraski, Moss and Johnson in 1 junior. 91 Andy Davey, 19 Dennis Zeck, 26 Jake Getz. As Sobraski tries to track down your race-long leader. He started on the pole. He's never looked back yet. Matthew Dibb, 22, gonna work his way to the start line for 15 laps down. A handful left down. You go, you can count them. The countdown is on with 5 to go. It's still anybody's race so far to this point. 1, 2, 3. They're only about 5 car lengths apart. Johnson, your early leader, traded it back and forth with Dibb. He sits 4th. He's dropped back a little bit. Sobraski now moves to the middle groove. He's going to go at it down the back shoe. Matthew Dibb, 22. Zabrowski, 7-8. Zabrowski puts the squeeze onto the low side. Dibb a little bit lower as the blue and yellow flag comes up to the guys at the back of the pack. And we have a new leader. You better believe it, with 17 down, 3 to go. Matthew Dibb tries to take it back. Zabrowski, side by side out of the fourth corner. They start to encounter lap traffic. Zabrowski ducking down to the lower groove and ends up in the middle one. Matthew Dibb still on the hub. A little advantage to Dibb in 22. The flying green was out. We're looking for the white flag this next time by race fans. 1 to go. Matthew Dibb takes the 1 to go. Heikkinen 13 right in front of them. 7-8 Zabrowski, 2 Dave Moss. The final lap. 3 cars. It's anybody's race. The checker's out. They're up. Who's it going to be, fans? Matthew Dibb. Johnson in 1 junior. 2 of Dave Moss finishes in 3rd. Runner-up, your 2-time WISSOTA defending national champion, 7-8 Shane Zabrowski. And the race winner, your current rookie point leader in WISSOTA, rolls it into victory lane tonight. Sponsored by Napa Auto Parts. With the Napa know-how, Matthew Dibb in 22, your race winner tonight. The driver out of Isani, sponsored by Jerry's Auto Salvage, Bradford Garage, Loop Tech, Race Fan 123, Shaw Trucking, Bud's Auto Body, and Northern Maintenance Free Exteriors. He gets the chance to hop out of the car in victory lane after winning. Dad down there helping get the son out and get him for the trophy presentation in victory lane. There he comes out of the car. Race fans, let's hear it for Matthew Dibb in 22.